four-chambered heart with two auricles, two ventricles, and they are homeotherms or warm-blooded. Okay, they can regulate their own body temperature. Also, modern birds have another feature. Their stomach has two chambers known as crop and gizzard. Now, neornithes birds can also be classified into flightless birds and birds who can fly. Flightless birds and ostriches, emus, cassowaries. Hello students, welcome back to btosacademy. So today we are going to look about the classification scheme of the birds and the mammals. Class Aves. Class Aves. Now class Aves had earlier two subclasses. What are those? One is the archaeornithes or the primitive birds. Now what features did this archaeornithes have? Had toothed beaks. Their beaks were like jagged prongs, okay, like this. Toothed beaks they had. Another is that they had rudimentary forelimbs and they lacked the power of true flight. They were gliders. They did not have fully developed flight muscles. So they used to glide from one tree branch to another. Archaeornithes directly were derived from a class of dinosaurs, mainly the theropod dinosaurs or the carnivorous dinosaurs. Now they are all extinct. Example, the famous archaeopteryx. The archaeopteryx, or it is commonly known as the missing link between dinosaurs and birds. They are all extinct, okay? They are all extinct. And the modern birds or the neornithes, the modern birds. They are the modern birds. So, what character do the neornithes have? There, they have fully developed wings with flight muscles. Okay. Now these wings were evolved forelimbs. Okay, evolved forelimbs. Body completely covered with feathers. Now what are feathers? They are modified epidermal tissues. Okay. flight muscles is very important. Another thing they have is they are devoid of any sweat glands or other glands. They have only one gland called the uropygial gland or the preen gland. Preen gland at the base of the tail. Okay, they secrete oil. This preen gland secretes oil to clean the feathers. Okay. Another thing they have is a four chambered heart. Four chambered heart with two auricles, two ventricles, and they are homeotherms or warm blooded. Okay, they can regulate their own body temperature. They have toothless beak. Their upper and lower lips are modified into beak. Okay, and it is toothless. They have pneumatic bones. That is, their bones are hollow with air cavities. Pneumatic bones that helps them to fly. Right? Also, they have their dioecious sexes are separate with internal fertilization, and they are oviparous. They lay eggs. Oviparous. Also, modern birds have another feature. Their stomach has two chambers known as crop and gizzard. Now, what they do when they have chicks or when they have young ones to look after, they eat food. They swallow their food. Okay, they swallow their food, and what they do, they store it. They store it inside. They store it inside the crop. Okay, they store it inside the crop, and they ferment the food to a certain extent, and they secrete that semi-liquid substance for their young ones to feed on, and along with a few extra amino acids and other essential nutrients. This is known as crop milk. Okay, this is known as crop milk, and they have a gizzard. What is gizzard? Many of the birds eat nuts, seeds, hard substances that are very difficult to break down. This gizzard is a structure which helps to grind the food into finer substances, into finer particles, so that it becomes easier for the food to get digested and absorbed. Some birds, like ostriches, store tiny pebbles inside their gizzard, so that by friction and the grinding action of those pebbles inside the gizzard, hard food substances like roots, seeds, nuts, etc. can be broken down into finer particles, so that it becomes easier for the birds to digest and absorb. Examples of neornithes, well, lot of examples, all modern birds. Okay, like peacocks, crows, vultures, eagles, owls, everything. Okay. Now, neornithes birds can also be classified into Flightless birds and birds who can fly, flightless birds and ostriches, emus, cassowaries, kiwis of the New Zealand, and birds with flight are like crows, sparrows, parrots, etc. Also, they have a sound producing organ in their throat, in their trachea. Okay, sound producing organ known as a syrinx. A syrinx. Sound producing organ called syrinx. They have in their trachea. This syrinx helps birds to produce beautiful musical notes which we commonly enjoy listening to, the bird song as we call them. So it is produced by the syrinx. Okay. So this is all we need to know about the class Aves.